So here we go. If you still have any question queues afterwards in P3, we can talk about later on. Okay. So what is P3 about? Obviously, it's about emerging technologies, emerging, and frankly, most of them have already emerged. So it's not like they're right emerging. So emerging technologies include lots of things. First of all, you have is NFC, near field communication. Okay, near field communication, unlike Bluetooth, obviously has a much more faster transfer rate. Okay, so NFC technology is basically used to transfer. It's used now even in your phones. Your phones have it as well. So data transfer can happen really fast. It's a quite lot used for you can connect your credit card, your debit card with your phone, and you can obviously do all the transactions through that way. Okay. So it's wireless technology through which data transfer can take place. Okay. Just like the way RFID actually works. So it's a wireless communication with no cabling. It's faster method, obviously, as compared to Bluetooth and the previous versions. Okay. The disadvantage can be seen as less secure, obviously, because does not need a lot of authentication, could be an issue. Users can are concerned that technology could be used to steal their data. Obviously, yeah, that is one of the main disadvantage, and that is the only disadvantage. But frankly speaking, while we're discussing this right now, there are methods through which it has become very secure. Okay, it was initially, but not now. But yes, we can talk about it still. Okay, it's present in many modern phones. I think it's in an iPhone as well. Or no, not think it is actually. And Samsung's latest phones does not require an internet connection and does not require a pairing code. Okay. Then we have passive NFC. Passive NFC, you will find them at different buildings at the information points where if you want to take some information or maybe uh, that organization wants to take information from the user. So you have NFC points through which um, user just have to scan their phone and they can get lots of information. It's not like QR code, it's different. You directly get the information on your phone. Electronic wallet, I just talked about it, that you can actually connect your debit card and credit card with your phone and you can use it for with communication. So let's say this is your um, what you call that credit card and an NFC device. You just have to bring the phone near and your payment will be done. Ultra high definition systems. Well, obviously, I'm sure all of you know high definition 4K, 8K, 8K, 4K basically has this much 3840 by 2160. Okay. Obviously, the more number of resolutions you have per square inch, the more clarity it will be. It all depends on that. Okay. The more resolution the pixels, the more the resolution better. So HD, ultra high definition, that's the difference. So the size of the pixel gets smaller and smaller. Since it gets smaller, you can fit in more pixels in the same square inch, and this is how it becomes more dense and more precise. Okay, this is precisely the more explanation of it. You're just supposed to know this. Then okay, advantage and disadvantages of ultra high definition. Well, obviously it's quite a simple thing, but you should know it. Quality of the image is sharper, can produce higher level of detail. Yes, it can improve the viewing experience of the user. Obviously, disadvantage, and it would be expensive to manufacture. Yes, it would be obviously requires large amount of data to be transmitted. Okay, you could say that obviously more expensive technical devices would be required, and obviously transferring a lot of amount of data requires more bandwidth if you're streaming it online. Ultra definition in surgery is used. Your CyberMed NB24K, okay, is actually used for 4K screen so that the surgeons could actually precisely look at every detail. So whenever a remote surgery has to be done, there are ultra high definition screens used for such a kind of surgical incisions that have to be made. Okay, so obviously where great level of precision is required, high quality image is also required. This is where we use that. Okay. Ultra definition cinemas, obviously, you might have experienced it. It's not just here right now. 4K has been there for a decade. 8K now is there. So you get a great level of details, good experience. Okay. So the level of entertainment obviously increases to a lot of extent. Then we talk about AI. AI is something obviously you probably do know about. When computers start mimicking human knowledge. This came from heuristic knowledge. Heuristic knowledge is a knowledge that which is used for decision making. Okay, humans usually have it. Something, some sort of knowledge uh, that cannot be transferred easily. Okay, so AI obviously comes up with lots of disadvantages. It's quite general topic, believe me. Increased level of precision and accuracy as well will likely to lower error rate than human. Yes, obviously the more AI keeps on improving, the accuracy keeps on improving. Okay, requires high level of skills to program and could be very expensive. You really need high level programmers. Obviously, can replace the need for humans. Okay, humans keep on doing some tedious tasks that obviously with the help of AI can be done really fast. Okay, the store requirement for program can be extensive, expensive. You need a lot of database to store a lot of data so that can be used by AI. Okay, can work 24/7. People have ethical and moral issues while computers being used to recreate intelligence. Yes, we actually uh, moral issues actually mean is that we don't want AI to actually take on everything. Okay, but like we don't want to compromise our morality with that. Can make logical decision really fast. They do not consider emotion and making decisions well, but this is why in healthcare, AI can actually help, but not help in psychological issues because till now they are not capable of dealing with emotions. AI cannot do that right now. Maybe they can afterwards, but not right now. Can analyze large sets of data. Obviously, it can because of its advanced algorithms being developed in your AI. They are fundamentally based on the rules. This can affect their ability to be creative. Obviously, we can say is right now, uh, comparing AI with the human intelligence is obviously not comparable, but in the future, obviously, this could be an advantage as well because it's growing exponentially to an extent where it might even exceed human intelligence to some extent. It can. Self-driving cars, maybe we did discuss this before, and autonomous cars and all that. How do they actually work? Okay. One of the most important emerging technologies topic. You can talk about Teslas. You can talk about how uh, Tesla, these autonomous cars work. They take the data from the environment and every day they feed in the database and they can learn from it, from the previous mistakes. And this is how self-driving cars actually works. Okay. Scientific analysis, AI is used over there as well. Obviously, any sort of scientific discoveries or hypothesis could be more explored with the help of AI. More options could be discovered, and the level of detail could be elaborated more, obviously, with the help of AI. Augmented reality. You might have heard of Google Glasses, I'm pretty sure. Google Glasses became a lot famous about 10 years back. Google Glasses, they don't have a photo of Google Glasses over here. Google Glasses actually were just like someone wearing normal glass, but they could connect with your phone. And while you're walking, you would actually get a message on your glass. Okay. And you go, and if you're searching for a nearby cafe, you could also get that on your glass. But obviously, while you're wearing glass and while you're walking, this was quite a risky thing. And there were incidents where people obviously got injuries. So, because you cannot concentrate on two things at the same time. Okay, walking as well and reading the message, it was quite risky. It's still being used. It's a very good thing, and augmented reality obviously is a lot of advantage in some places. So yeah, but it did not become very popular. So it takes the data from the phone, okay, and gives it to the glass. So yes, Google glasses, such as military and training professionals, pilots can be used, can make learning experience both entertaining and immersive. It is based on the collection and analysis of data. This can cause some people to be concerned about privacy and security of data. Yes, obviously, uh, in this particular case, obviously, when your phone is connected to your glass, there could be a chance of someone else intercepting. There could be a chance, even if it's 1%. Yes, there is. Okay. So can be used to simulate and communicate immediate information, creating better experience when used in learning and training. Okay. So obviously, it means obviously it will give you simulation um, and immediate information. So if you getting a message or you want to know about a roadmap, so it obviously gives you very, very good experience. Some people believe it can modify person's perception of reality and can cause blurred distinction between the two. Yes, while you are concentrating on both things, this could obviously create some illusion sort of problem in some people. Yes, obviously, this was initially thought that this could actually happen. Person's perception of reality and cause a blurred distinction between the two. Can allow a user to simulate everyday experience in an effective manner. Again, the same thing, obviously. It can allow a shopper to simulate trying out different clothing and hairstyles without actually changing the clothes. Yeah, so yeah. So I mean, you could actually go to any particular website, but remember something that you are actually viewing the content on the glass. So partially it's opaque, and you can also see what's in front of you as well. Okay, get my point? That's what augmented reality is. It's not virtual reality. Virtual reality is totally something different. Virtual reality, you're 100% immersed into that reality. Okay, such as the VR glasses and all that. AR is different. I hope you got the point, right? The technology requires to process the data needed for smooth AR experience. So obviously, it's expensive in simple words. Can be used to allow user to navigate new places, help them to move. It's obviously navigation. That's the point they're saying is. Okay, this is actually what they're trying to say. This is not. This is augmented reality in case, but you have Google Glasses. You can search for it on the net. So in Google Glasses, all this information is coming in your glass, so you can see through it as well. I don't know why did not give the in the previous book they had Google Glasses. Maybe I don't know why. They should have given that. Anyway, gaming, yeah, fine. Obviously, AR can be used in gaming as well. Um, Medical, yes, surgeons can use it and they could get the records of the patients while doing the surgery. They could probably get some more details, some information they want. So if they want, while doing the surgery, you want patient information to be superimposed. So yes, it can be done with the help of AR. So it's a good thing for them. So yeah, it can be used in many places, obviously. In scientific research could be used. VR, I'm pretty sure all of you know what VR is. You have experienced lots of VR devices. Samsung came up with Google Cardboard was the first one that came in. Okay, I'm pretty sure all of you have experienced what VR is. There are lots of VR gamings. You have it in PlayStation as well. Okay, so it can be used to simulate critical situations, okay, as well. Hospital to provide training tool, right? Military can also use it. Um, Achieving perfect calibration between the camera and user can be very difficult. So you have to calibrate it. Yeah. If you've used it, you probably have an idea. Okay. Because there are lots of sensors in that. Can be used to provide very immersive experience into a different reality. Okay, so obviously you can experience lots of experiences, okay, from relaxing to gaming and all that, and obviously to stress or mental health issues can be resolved Technology required to create the VR is expensive, can help build people confidence. Okay, for example, if you're afraid of height, you can obviously use it and remove to some extent someone's if if she or she is scared of it. Some people think that there is a danger that people can be seduced by alternate reality and neglect their real worlds. Yeah, obviously for kids, it's not a very good thing to use it all the time. Okay, it could be addiction. For example, if you're using a VR and they use VR to, let's say, experience a different situation. So, since they know that it's not real, they will deal it differently. And when they experience that thing in real life, they might take a risk. So, yes, in that particular sense, yes, VR could be used. So it's an alternate reality. So the real world reality could be neglected because of this. That's what they mean to say, right? Yeah, scientific research. VR could be used scientific. I told you before, molecular structure, whatever you want to look at. In case of VR, there could be numerous examples of that. So you want to learn something for education, for scientific research. VR obviously is there to help us out. Tourism, VR it's used a lot actually. You can go to any particular place, you can walk around and see before you visit that place. Lots of countries are using um, VR enabled videos for the tourism, for educational purposes, so on and so. Robotics. Robotics actually is a very typical thing. We know what robots are. We're talking about um, actuators, sensors, microprocessor that takes the data from the environment. So it's all about sensors. Okay. So if we talk about robot, the typical question that comes in is your computer aided manufacturing in car manufacturing. Okay, I'll come to that. But this is general discussion about robots. I think so it's very typical discussion मैं जल्दी से कर लेता हूँ. Obviously tedious tasks humans can't do, can replace human jobs, 24/7 can work, can be paired with AI, could be big problem afterwards. Okay. uh, okay, and emotional response cannot be done with the help of them, even if they're integrated with AI, still not. Okay. Can improve personal quality of life? Yes, they can, and they do. Require constant supply of power? Yes. Not prone to errors. So obviously, this is why we use robots because they do are not prone to errors. Designing and building robots requires high level of skill and high quality material. Yes. Can help reduce time cost and manufacturing. Yeah, because they keep on doing the repetitive task again and again without any delay, without taking breaks. So obviously, और similar उसमें ये भी होता है कि there's always a consistency in everything. Some humans fear that use of robots um, do not agree with the current dependencies on them. Yeah, so do you agree with our current dependencies? Yeah, we should not totally depend on robots. That's true. Some people obviously argue on this, and they're right on that. Apart from making us lazy, apart from taking intelligence away from us, it does that. Robotic pets can be used to increase the quality of life for those who are not able to have real pets. Right. I mean, why would like someone to have a robotic pet? मुझे समझ नहीं आती. Why would someone keep it? Yes. Now Japanese do that, by the way. Okay, prosthetic limbs, you know what prosthetic limbs are. Okay, if you have a limb, someone needs to replace it. Obviously, this can be done, and robotic limbs are being made right now that can be connected with the human brain, mind, and they can be controlled as well. Okay, uh, but they have not discussed because we have discussed that before. Computer aided manufacturing में हम पहले बात हो चुकी है उसको ज़हन में जरूर रखना. Nano robots obviously are used very micro robots होते हैं जो human body में implant हो सकते हैं, and they could actually be used to study the human body's uh, um, nature or problems that they have. So they have been used for destroying cancer cells as well, bloodstream maybe. So yes, they have been used, nano robots. Okay, but not a very detailed topic. Computer assist translation. So we're talking about like Google Translate की बात कर रहे हैं कि how computer assist translation can help people to communicate different languages. ठीक है, Google Translate frankly बहुत basic topic है, मैं इस पे ज़्यादा नहीं करना. You can do this yourself. It's very very basic. Okay, foreign language websites. Yes, वही बात होगी. Let me come to holographic imaging. Holographic imaging basically is that to create an holograph. Obviously, in order to create a holographic imaging, you actually need to do is you have to create it in space. Air वगैरह में को बनाना पड़ता है ना. तो creating an holographic is frankly it's not very important मगर ज़हन में देख लेना इसको एक बार, ठीक है, क्योंकि obviously explaining holographic storage और holographic इसको तो फिर भी explain कर सकते हैं. holographic storage को बताया तो आगे जाके, मगर उसको वैसे explain करना थोड़ा मुश्किल काम है. So what you have is a laser beam and you have mirrors. So multiple mirrors के साथ what you do is आप जो object है उसका एक hologram आप बनाते हो. Okay, that's all what you have to do. Nothing more than that. मैंने एग्जाम में से पूछा भी था, उन्होंने कहते हैं इस डिटेल में अपने ज्यादा जानने की जरूरत नहीं है. सेम विद स्टोरेज. हाँ, ये पता होना चाहिए एडवांटेज और डिसएडवांटेज क्या होना चाहिए. हाँ, इसका पता होना चाहिए. उसका हाउ डज इट वर्क. जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट दिस डायग्राम, दैट्स इट. कीप इन माइंड के 1 2 3 थिंग लेजर बीम होती है, ऑब्जेक्ट होता है, होलोग्राम होता है, दैट्स इट. ओके, सो व्हाट डू वी हैव हियर. Yeah, do not require special glasses to view, obviously, because you're making the hologram in the air. 3D projected holograms require expensive equipment to create. Yes, they do a lot. They are very difficult to replicate, so can be useful as security measure. Yes. Okay. Uh, right. A lot of data needs to be stored in order to create holograms. Disadvantage है, it is much easier to see depth of precision in 3D hologram than in ordinary 3D image. Yeah, so obviously you can rotate, you can see every dimension. It's 3D, you can view it around. That's the way. But there's still the preciseness of these holograms अभी जो डेवलप हुए हैं वो अभी तक इतना एक्यूरेट, बहुत ज्यादा एक्यूरेट नहीं है. ओके, ये जो सिक्योरिटी की बात हो रही है होलोग्राफी, हम देखा होगा प्रोडक्ट्स के ऊपर लग गया तो उनको वजह होलोग्राम ही कहते हैं. वो लगता है कि 3D है. सीडीज के प्रोडक्ट बुक्स के ऊपर एक होलोग्राम स्टिकर होता है. दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. इट्स एन एक्स्ट्रा लेवल ऑफ सिक्योरिटी जो आइटम्स वगैरह पे आजकल लग रहा है फॉर ऑब्वियसली ये बैंक नोट है प्रॉब्ली सिंगापुर का, वेयर दे हैव इट. ओके, आर्किटेक्चर में यूज हो सकता है. ऑब्वियसली बिफोर कंस्ट्रक्टिंग अ बिल्डिंग यू कैन मेक एन होलोग्राम ऑफ दैट एंड टू सी हाउ द एक्चुअल बिल्डिंग विल लुक लाइक. ठीक है. होलोग्राफिक डाटा स्टोरेज, इसका मैं थोड़ा आपको बता दूं हाउ डज इट बेसिकली लुक. होलोग्राफिक डाटा स्टोरेज जो होता है ना वो बेसिकली एक क्यूबिकल फॉर्म में व्हाट हैपेंस इज डाटा स्टोर हो रहा है. इनिशियली व्हाट हैपेंस इज जो आपका डाटा है ना वो स्टोर होता है एक लेयर में. अगर हम बात करें ना एक सीडी की, उसमें इट्स बीइंग स्टोर्ड इन वन लेयर. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट एचडीडी इट्स स्टोर्ड इन वन लेयर. I mean, it could be up this side and this side, yes, but होते तो ये एक लेयर है. अगर हम टॉक अबाउट करें आपके फ्लिप फ्लॉप गेट्स, उसमें भी ऐसे ही होता है. बट व्हाट दे आर डूइंग एक्चुअली नाउ इन होलोग्राफिक डाटा स्टोरेजेस, दे आर स्टोरिंग द डाटा in the entire volume. So data will be stored inside this in every particular part. So इससे क्या करते हैं actually, what they do is they make a laser beam, okay, and the beam would split this into different dimensions. और इस dimension के अंदर your data actually would be stored and retrieved. Okay, this is all that you have to know. Okay, right? So you have a lot more area in case of your holographic data storage for data to be stored. Okay, because the beam is split into multiple dimensions and all these 3 dimensions are used to store data. So पहले single dimension में होता था, अब 3 dimension में जिसको holographic dimensions भी कहते हैं, now data is stored over there. So obviously it will be capable of storing a lot of data. Obviously it will be. Large more data can be stored. It is not compatible with current methods of data storage. Obviously, it's still under development. Okay, it has been tested by the way. हो चुका है. It will make the storage of large amount of much more portable. Obviously, the technology required to use holograph data. Is it being recorded? It just got disconnected. Hold on. Yes. Okay, I'll continue. So disconnect हो गया था. Okay, obviously, फायदा ही होगा. Or if you need a lot of data, holographic could be the solution to the problem. Okay, it could be used into space data. Archiving data में use हो सकता है. 3D printing. Yes, we know what की 3D printing is. Computer aided manufacturing software में design करके we can use a 3D printer to actually print it. ठीक है, 3D printing का यही होता है. So 3D printing के भी बहुत lots of advantages हैं. Okay. Uh, So the speed at which certain objects can be created is greatly increased through 3D printing. Obviously, it has become much easier to build dangerous and obviously, so you can actually print anything that you want to. So obviously, copyrights के issue आ सकता है. 3D printer will constantly create the exact same product. Obviously, it's an advantage. जहाँ disadvantage और advantage भी है. At present, 3D printers are only capable of creating relatively small items. Yeah, is mass production नहीं है. You cannot create lots of things. Okay, uh, much more flexible when creating. So you can print anything you want to. Okay, in simple words, 3D printing reduces the number of manufacturing jobs. Okay, so if 3D printing रिप्लेस कर सकता है ह्यूमन के जो चीजें क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, that could be disadvantage. Although the initial setup cost will be high, the cost of creating each product will with 3D printer will often be cheaper than alternate capture methods. Yes. Okay. So yes, slow तो होगा मगर बहुत ज़्यादा expensive भी नहीं होता. The 3D printer requires a relatively high level of power consumption और initial cost खुद ही कह रही initial cost high है तो disadvantage हो गया. At present, ABS filament is the most common type of material used 3D printing and the byproduct of this product is increasingly bumping landfill. Yeah, मगर इन्होंने लिखा तो है मगर ये जो वैसे आप डिस्कस कर सकते हो ABS जो फिल्मेंट है ना ये बायोडिग्रेडेबल भी आ चुका है. So ये बाबर रवि बेटा you can hear me right? Uh, can't hear you. Anyone can hear me? Can someone hear me? रबिया तो कनेक्ट हो रही है अभी. Who else is there? Uh, सोहा, जैनब, अमल, आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
यस सर.
अच्छा, वो आई नो
जी सर.
मेरा इंटरनेट बार बार डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है, आई डोंट नो व्हाई. अच्छा, प्रिंटिंग इन स्पेस, विजन एनहांसमेंट. बेटा अभी सारे टॉपिक काफी बेसिक से हैं. मैं जरा देख लूं कौन सा इंपॉर्टेंट. वेरिएबल कंप्यूटिंग. अब वेरिएबल कंप्यूटिंग वही जो आप स्मार्ट वॉचेस नहीं पहनते, इसकी बात है. स्मार्ट वॉचेस क्या होते हैं ऑल दैट. ठीक है. मॉनिटरिंग हेल्थ इश्यूज, आप वेरिएबल कंप्यूटिंग के साथ पल्स रेट वगैरह चेक कर सकते हो. एंड वी डन. सो यू सी इट वाज वेरी बेसिक चैप्टर. मगर ऑब्वियसली इसमें एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेज हर चीज की बहुत है. आपने बस उसके नोट बनाने हैं. मैं आपको बता दूं क्वेश्चन ही इसके ऊपर आता है कि वेरिएबल कंप्यूटिंग के एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेजेस क्या है. ठीक है. प्रिंटिंग विजन एनहांसमेंट के डिसएडवांटेजेस क्या है. सो दिस इज मोर लाइक 6 मार्क्स 8 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन इसमें से आते हैं. यू गेट माई पॉइंट ऑल ऑफ यू राइट. सो टेक्निकली हमारा थ्योरी का इसके बाद मेरे ख्याल से हमने किया हो. या कम्युनिकेशन वी हैव डन. सो टेक्निकली हमारी थ्योरी P3 इज डन. मैं इसको जरा पॉज करता हूँ क्योंकि नहीं, आई डोंट वांट टू रिकॉर्ड दिस. मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि या आई जस्ट स्टॉप रिकॉर्ड.